Hey everyone, Mark and Joey here on a Saturday afternoon. Took the morning to kind of get over the shock. We all woke up with what happened with KAWHI. I think everybody in the city is obviously processing what occurred, and we've analyzed it and really kind of want to bring our views to this whole story. Joey, it broke at midnight, or no, like 2 in the morning, I think it was.
11.
And most of us saw this morning. Obviously there was something there with the George deal that no one else really knew, but we are hearing that the Raptors had a shot at keeping him.
Yeah, so first off, I don't think anyone expected George to be shopped around by the OKC, Oklahoma City Thunder, but it turns out Russell Westbrook was shopped too. Apparently, the Raptors did get a call about Russell Westbrook and Paul George. This is from, I saw it on ESPN, so it's a reliable source. And it was centered around Siakam and the young core, obviously, of the Toronto Raptors. It kind of would have gutted you in a way, but at the same time, you would have got 3 great players. They think you could surround them with whoever, trash cans, and they could go on and win a title. So they got the offer. They turned it down. The Clippers get the offer, not with Westbrook involved, just George, and obviously you know the rest. Very shocking.
A record amount of picks and players.
4 first-round picks, 3 second-round picks, and 3 players.
Yeah.
It's insane what they got for it. But
they didn't get Westbrook.
No, they didn't. They just got George, so it's hard to believe what they might have asked for out of Toronto. But, wow, crazy stuff here. I think the craziest thing about it all was just no one thought Paul George was a legit target because he re-signed last year in OKC. When you think about it, it's not crazy that they're willing to trade him because the experiment in OKC was bad this year, and it hasn't really gelled with Russell Westbrook there. So it's not shocking when you go back and think about it, but it was never talked about. It was never heard that his name had come up. And even though we assumed, we all said, well, Kawhi's going to need someone in Clippers. They have to get someone first. We never would have thought that it would have came 5 days into free agency at 12 o'clock at night, and it would be Paul George of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Truly, truly amazing trade. Amazing moment when I woke up. Very disappointed. But at the same time, respect the decision. Respect what the Raptors had a chance to do. It was very well done. If you're going to leave a team to winning a title, he did it very well, and everyone got a chance.
Yeah, I think that you got to give him credit. I mean, a guy leaving like this, lots of times it's all selfish, it's all money, it's all these things. He said from the day he arrived, my goal is to get back to the Clippers. No matter what else people thought and felt about it, that's what he said when he arrived. He said, I'm coming here to play as best as I can, and my goal is to get back to Clippers. Was it the very next year? A lot of people started to question because they did win the championship when he go back to Toronto. It's clear he went and said, I need to win a championship. He told the Clippers, and I'm sure he told George, because George asked for this trade to happen from what I'm understanding. So here's what we're really saying. I think he did everything professionally. There was nothing underhanded.
Yeah.
He didn't say anything. The Raptors could have had him.
Right.
So he's fair about that too.
Right.
They didn't want to do the deal, which is okay. He said, I want to get back to Clippers. He's always said that. He's never
never said he wanted to go to Clippers, just said he wants to go to LA. But I must admit, he never said it at all in the Toronto. And actually, he never said it himself. It's always been his team who's been saying this, which arguably speaks for the athlete. But the one thing he always said in Toronto was it was about winning, it was about being the best. It's about winning, it's about being the best. Apparently, all these meetings were the same, though. It was about how do I win more titles.
How do I bring other
So
guys?
respectfully, everybody you've heard from the Lakers, from the Clippers, and the Raptors, every question they got asked from Kawhi was simply, how are you going to make me the greatest champion in NBA history?
Yeah.
Well, he thought the Raptors would be the choice if there's no Paul George trade. He didn't want to go play LeBron and AD. I respect that. That makes sense. I don't think he would have gelled there. And it wasn't until the last minute moment where OKC obviously came up and said, we're not working. Obviously, George probably asked for it because of the lack of success this year in OKC. If OKC finished 2nd, 3rd like expected, no way this happens. They finished 8th. They got ousted in the first round. This is why this happened. This is why Paul George was available. And they made an atmosphere in Los Angeles Clippers with Kawhi having a solid chance now to go on and win titles. You got him, Paul George, Lou Williams, bunch of young core. They made it to the 8th seed this year, won 2 games against the Golden State Warriors. He got what he wanted. It was a winning team somewhere.
I was hearing, and you were playing golf this morning, I was hearing that, in fact, Kawhi called Paul George.
Oh, did he?
Paul George went and made the request of the team to make that happen. So it wasn't kind of a mystery like they were shopping. I think they were as shocked as anybody from what I heard this morning.
Okay.
Because it was part of the Raptor deal. And so originally Kawhi talked to Paul George about coming to the Raptors, and that's kind of started the whole process.
Right.
And Paul George went in and said, I want to be traded. For, he might have given a ton of reasons, but the main reason was I've got an opportunity to go play wherever Kawhi's
and
going.
they're close, by the way.
And they're very close guys, and so that's what generated. They knew they were going to lose them. They were going to have bad feelings, whatever, and they thought, hey, we can make an unbelievable deal here. Okay. With the deal with the Clippers, the only thing that was funny compared to the Raptors is they didn't get rid of Westbrook, which was supposed to be part of the deal because I think they're going to look to rebuild this massive team with all of these picks, all these young guys. And so it didn't work out perfectly for them because Westbrook's going to ask to leave now too because his team's going to have no chance. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But that's what I heard. Okay. Kawhi did talk to him ahead of time. Kawhi organized him talking to OKC and making this offer to the Raptors, then making the offer to the Clippers. Clippers they stood up and they made the deal, good or bad. You know what? They better win.
It's only good though. It's only good.
But the one thing we believe, and that's why we believe the Raptors should have taken the deal too. This is no longer a league about drafting players and them staying with your city and growing a team. It doesn't exist anymore, folks. It really has got to be. It's about the superstars. And the one thing that's happened in this league, owners have lost complete control of the teams. These top players say they want to be traded, and they make it happen. Nobody forces them to stay because they know how much trouble it's going to be. This league is now run by these superstars. Anybody who thinks that's not the case can do whatever they want, but in fact it is. Look at
Anthony Davis. Yeah. He wanted to get out, so he refused to play, and he got out. Now, at least in sports, in theory, you get compensation. Sorry, that's the word I was looking for. Thank you. And in theory, the New Orleans Pelicans look really good right now.
Yeah.
If they made the deal with the Raptors, it would have been a win-win for both sides. Oklahoma City Thunder would look very good with that squad. Yeah. The Raptors would look very good. So at least they're able
in different conferences
because these stars are so big, they're at least able to get a lot in return. But it is weird how players can control this, but it's fine. At least teams are getting enough back. One thing they do is teams are now willing to give up, and who knows? The next pick for the OKC might be Zion Williams. It might be LeBron James Jr. 2 years from now. Who knows what it is?
Yeah.
But it is hard to keep guys now. I agree with you. Let's focus on the one thing that I cannot believe is why the Raptors did not take this trade. Kawhi did you a favor. Called his buddy. Said, come to Toronto, for Christ's sake. Canada! Where we cannot get stars to stay. And you say no to this. I just don't understand. Yeah. I am furious when I found out about this. And I don't care if you thought Westbrook was a problem and the chemistry would be a problem. Then get rid of Westbrook afterwards. But the fact was, Kawhi said, I want Paul George. Paul George wants to be with him. And regardless, they told you basically to your face, we're going to make this work somewhere else if it's not here. Yeah. But he had the respect to tell Toronto, and Toronto had a chance. I am baffled at this and cannot believe it.
Especially in the jury, who's made these kinds of moves in the past.
My God.
I mean, he got rid of the most popular player in town when he made the Kawhi deal, so he's not afraid of making these deals. You know what? The Toronto team was built on nobody lower than a 15th place draft pick.
All trades, none of our own.
And so you can manufacture any team you want anytime.
Yeah.
This is unlike any sport. Baseball, you've got 25 guys on the bench. One guy does not change the team, as we're seeing by the free agents who signed over the winter.
Right.
Football, there's 12 guys on each side of the ball.
Yeah, one quarterback.
So one guy, maybe Tom Brady can make it happen because he's beyond that.
You need defense, though.
Even if he went to a team that was terrible, he couldn't turn it around that quickly. Can't happen in hockey because you've got, again, 20 guys playing all the time. Basketball is the only one, and now these star players are starting to prove that you can gut the draft. Might as well not even have it. You can gut the draft, and no team should play for the draft because as soon as that player has an opportunity, he can go play with the best players in the world.
Yeah, it's truly, I don't have words for it, and the fact that Toronto had a chance just disgusts me.
Yeah. They could have put a bunch of high schoolers around those three. I mean, really, you got to be kidding me. And Lowry. Imagine that's your starting lineup.
They said Lowry might have been part of it. We don't know the extra players. The fact is, it was Pascal Siakam was the center, obviously, because of what he proved this year. Most improved player. I'm baffled.
None of those three.
I am baffled. I cannot believe it. In a city where it's tough to keep players, you got a player, and then you got that player to say, I will stay. But I want another great player that also said, I will come. I just don't understand it. There was no price. I would have told him,
they might have the three best players in basketball.
Oh my, and in this Eastern Conference, I get Milwaukee's pretty good, and the Greek Freak's amazing. You would have destroyed them.
Yeah.
Philly, destroyed them. This is a bunch of titles.
It's a 4-year title.
4-year title run
Franchise.
against LeBron James or Golden State or whatever. Doesn't matter. It's 4 title runs for these Raptors, and you might re-sign them because at that age, at that point, they might go, let's keep it going.
Yeah.
Whatever. And this
is not a rumor because the Raptors have confirmed it, correct? That's what we last
all
heard.
sources have confirmed it,
They would not make the deal. They were offered the deal, would not make it.
And the only thing we know for sure is that Siakam was involved, and that was the guy. I don't know what other players would have been involved. I assume it would have been Van Fleet, Powell, Picks, maybe something extra because Westbrook was in there.
Look what happened to the Clippers, so you know it was big.
Yeah, now the players that the Clippers gave up are not Siakam and Van Fleet and those types of guys. So probably exact same deal. But I imagine with those 3 young guys would have been the core. And I just don't get it. You had Marcus Gasol for another year. You had Lowry for another. Danny Green would have came back if you wanted him to.
But here you are, too.
Like, wow.
You know, Lowry and Gasol, by the time these young guys are ready to win a championship,
they're done.
They're going to be retiring, right?
Wow.
Now, in the world of any other sport, I would keep my young core together. I would look at this sport. I would look at the core we've got, and I'd say that's a damn good core. The next 2-3 years, we could go back to the championship.
Yeah.
But that isn't the case in basketball. It's about who can get the biggest player. Now, I will say, I guess, if it was such an outrageous deal, so let's assume it was that, and that's why we turned it down. You can go get any player you want at any time. I mean, trades happen in the NBA all the time. Top players move all the time. Maybe they're saying, okay, well, this young team can take us to a playoff, and we can make some kind of deal at the end of the season with a team that's not going to the playoff, and another star in the league, whatever. Maybe they're looking at that, but for me, you go for the wins in basketball because you can recreate great teams all the time.
And here's the point: is I agree you could, but it's always going to be a big cost to get star players. If you do it early in the season, I think it's worse. But the biggest thing was you had a star in Kawhi who would stay if you got another star, and that star was also willing to go to Brass and OKC and say, trade me.
Yeah.
There was no question marks, first of all, and it was a want to be there. So you talk about trading at the deadline maybe for a player. There's no guarantee he wants to come to Toronto.
Right.
These guys would have wanted to be there because Kawhi wanted to be there. That's why he did this. George would have wanted to be there because he wanted to be with Kawhi. They want to be together. You would have at least 2 superstars. I don't know what Westbrook's feelings would have been like. At least 2 superstars wanted to be there, decide to come together.
Yeah.
There's nothing, you cannot recreate this. You had one chance, Toronto, and as far as I'm concerned, you blew it. I would have traded everybody else besides Marc Gasol, Kyle Lowry, Russell Westbrook, Paul George, and Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
That's my starting 5. Everyone else, see ya.
Well,
and you would have won a championship.
This would be like Miami years ago when LeBron first went there,
what
right?
a joke. Yeah.
This is putting a dynasty together.
Pathetic.
And like I say, they could have put a bunch of high school kids on the court with them.
Trash
it wouldn't
cans,
have mattered.
I don't care. That starting 5 is insane. It's an all-star team.
Yeah. All by itself.
Wow.
So, we're disappointed Raptors did not jump on this. We're actually surprised because of New Jersey past that he wouldn't have taken this deal. It makes no sense unless ownership has stepped in somewhere. And obviously, cap would have been some kind of issue.
But they would have figured it out because, it comes down to wanting to be together. The cap would have figured it out because they wanted to be together. Another reason why trading for a star mid-season, and he maybe doesn't want to go to Toronto, he'll make your cap hell because he may not want to be there. Now, we might hear more word out of Toronto on why. All we know is that it's like a lot of people have reported on, and they had a chance. I don't know the reasons Toronto said no. I don't know the full extent of the deal. No one really does. All they know is Siakam was involved. Apparently, that was the big play for OKC. Obviously, because you're getting Paul George.
Yeah.
So I just don't get it. Like, it's unreal. Now, the only thing I could say is maybe the Clippers came back sooner. I don't know that either. I don't know if the Clippers came back and said, we only want George so you can keep Westbrook, and they were happy about keeping Westbrook in OKC. I don't know, because he has the heart and soul of that city, to be honest with you. And when he was by himself, was very, very good.
Yeah.
I don't know, but the fact that it was at least for a second on the phone in the air, and the Raptors didn't go right away and go, yes.
And for a
whatever
guy,
you want.
guy who made the Kawhi decision in the first place, took like 10 minutes to make that decision.
Yeah, like, come on,
so
man.
why wasn't this easy to say, my city's dying for Kawhi to come back? He can say all he wants about the young guys and building. It doesn't matter. This city would have gone nuts. It would look like 3 or 4 in a row championships, and here we are.
I'm sorry, I would have even traded Lowry if that's what they wanted.
Well, sure,
I would have even done that. I was just going to Lowry. Like, look, you understand.
But I'm sure Lowry wasn't even part of the deal.
No, it's all the young guys.
They wanted to gut the young guys, but when you had all those guys in there, who cares?
Who cares?
We're shocked that they had a chance and didn't make this move. However, going to end this with I got to give props to Kawhi. He handled it in a classy way.
Very professional.
He gave us a chance to do it. He wanted to be here in Toronto, but he had always wanted to be in LA. And and he even gave us a chance to not do that, and we let it happen. It's done. But he was always very clear. Even in his victory speech, they were playing that over again. He said, enjoy this. You know, you got one, enjoy this. And that was his trigger of like, I'm likely gone. He still came back. And that's why he gave us the last meeting.
Yeah.
I mean, he also give him that. He made Toronto the last meeting because you know what? He went and saw all these other teams. And he came back to Toronto and said, here's how you can keep me.
Yeah.
Well, you can't ask except to be the last guy at the table, and they got that.
The Raptors got
everything
they wanted, except the guts to pull another gigantic trade, which would have put Toronto insane.
Oh my God!
But
it would have brought stars for the future. I think Kawhi coming and doing what he did, but here you are again with what Toronto suffered through. A superstar comes in and then leaves. I mean, that's the history. Even though he won a championship, go back to Carter. You know, all these guys right from the very beginning of Carter and the other one went to Miami. I'm losing his name right now.
Chris Bosh.
These guys don't stay in Toronto.
Right, but he did though. And then when Toronto gets opportunity, they balk on it. So here's the problem for your Toronto. You had a great guy who stayed for 8 years. You traded him. Good for you, because I forgot if I say. Then you get another guy who goes, I'll also stay. Just go get another guy. Yeah. And you don't do that either. So you blame your city, you blame your weather, your taxes. The fact is, you're not making the right plays, man. Like, I just don't understand this. You traded a guy who's gone for 8 years, and then the guy you traded for was supposed to be gone, and then says, no, I'll come back for 5 more. If you'll get another guy who'll be here for 3 more, and you still say no. So you got to make up your mind. Are you going to be this team who goes out and gets big free agents? Are you just going to suck and then have one good year and then they'll all leave again? It's your choice, but they've made bad choices. Yeah. And I know that we're going to hang our hat on this title, but it's been bad decisions. Lastly, shout out to the NBA. I know you hate the fact that players can leave at any point. This has been so exciting, though. It's so crazy. Oh, yeah. And the league is now balanced again. You got a good East, a good West. Yeah. The finals will be something special. The battle in Los Angeles. I don't care what you say. The league's happy he's in Los Angeles with Paul George. I don't care what you say. No way is it the same buzz coming to Toronto except for Toronto fans. Yeah. That LA matchup will be nuts. And the odds are, guess what? You could have a Western Conference Finals playing all 7 games out of one arena, the Staples Center. Yeah. Because it's very possible with Golden State.
Gone with the Warriors.
Yeah, with Golden State out. The only team in their way, because Golden State's out for this year, as far as I think the year after they're very, very good, but we'll talk about that later. For this upcoming year, Golden State's out of it, even with D'Angelo Russell. So you got 3 teams. Houston, Clippers, and Lakers. What a finish it'll be next year in the Western Conference. In the East, it's still pretty wide open until Durant and the Brooklyn Nets get going. But, hey, I get it's player-driven. It kind of sucks these days, but at the same time, it creates amazing entertainment. It creates a position where any team can be good at any point and change your whole city and franchise around with a couple of big trades, big signings. And, we got 1 year of it, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch the NBA. Unfortunately, I don't think the Raptors will get all the way, but exciting stuff. The NBA knows how to play to its fans. Well,
I made my prediction that everybody thinks is insane a number of shows ago, that because I was assuming Leonard was leaving early on, and I still think with the Warriors, with the challenge they have, that we should go after Curry. We got the money now. We got the city. We got his parents. His dad played here. He grew up here. This would be a spot for both. And here's what the Raptors need to do first. They need to go get his brother. I don't know how easy or hard that is.
Seth wouldn't be that hard.
But they need to get Seth because we need some backup players like every team, and then start to push some pressure on Curry to make this move. Because I think, Curry, having watched what he watched in the playoffs in Jurassic Park and in Toronto, you don't think that this is a little bit of a drag at the end of your career? Wow, I could go to Toronto and I could be Leonard for 3 or 4 years with Jurassic Park and the city of Toronto. The city of Toronto would go insane. So I'm saying right now, the Warriors look done as far as I'm concerned. It depends what happens with the last signing. It depends what a lot of people putting a lot on Klay Thompson. He's coming back from a very hard injury, very damaging injury. I don't think he'll be near what he was. I think this would be something you need to go out and try to make happen. Well, in my mind,
a couple of things is, first of all, Seth Curry's market is very, very small right now. It's supposed to be the Lakers. The Lakers went out and got Danny Green, so he's available for sure. The problem is they want to sign Klay to a max deal in Golden State. That means they have confirmation from Steph Curry he'll stay. Obviously, he's under contract.
Well, let's think about how long confirmation.
No, hold on though. So max deal from Klay Thompson. That means they're not getting Steph Curry. If they were willing to get rid of Klay Thompson because of the injury, and they just said we don't want to pay the money, then Steph Curry's more available because he's their only superstar. Right. Then they'd be looking to rebuild. But the fact is, because they're offering Klay Thompson 5 years, they think Steph Curry and Klay, and now D'Angelo Russell could be good enough going forward. Otherwise, they wouldn't do that. But I'd say it's all changed now because of how good the Clippers are. So I'd say they're still available, and I would go get...
They're their best team in the West right now.
Fourth best in my mind.
Yeah, you like Houston, yeah.
I would go get Steph, D'Angelo, and Klay, all three of them, and bring them to Toronto. I'd try to do something along those lines. The bottom line is you're not winning with the team the Raptors have now, at least in 7 games. You're going to be a playoff team, maybe a 5-spotter, maybe a 6-spotter, maybe a 4-spotter. You're going to be on the second round period. You need another star. You're going to have to do it through trade. You're going to have to give up some young guys. Do you go get someone from Golden State who's available? D'Angelo Russell, I guarantee he's available because they're in some cap trouble over there.
The other guy,
why not try to get more?
The other guy who's available that everybody loves to hate, but Cousins is still on the market.
So
and, you know,
he's not the missing piece.
He's not the missing piece, but the guy's a brute. I mean, when we're looking at stopping the Greek Freak, this guy can play basketball.
He's not fast enough.
His attitude's a bit of an issue, but you know what? This guy is big, huge. He caused a lot of challenge. Matter of fact, I noticed him more in the games that the Raptors played Golden State in the final than sometimes some of their other stars.
You know,
he's tough, and he'll play the tough game you need. I think we need someone to take out the Greek Freak without Leonard. Cousins is the kind of guy to do that, and he'll play hockey style. I mean, he will body check this guy to stop him from getting to the net. So anyway, I just throw that out there. That is another one of the pieces.
Yeah, I mean, you're missing. I mean, I agree with you in that one particular matchup.
That's going to be your matchup.
But against Philly, I don't like it because Philly has shooters too now. I think I told you his hair.
They don't have to play as much in that series, but I got to tell you, everyone else in the basketball says Milwaukee's the best in the East. You're going to play him to get through.
But
a guy like him could really help.
Yeah, I agree with you. Go get him anyway. There's no market for him.
Yeah, no one's
you can get him cheap, so go get him anyways. I agree with you. That's a good piece. Go get him. But you do have a Baca and Gasol already, but might as well for how cheap he'll be. But you're missing 30 points. You're missing the control of the ball. You're missing the defense. So where do you get that? If you got like a Curry or Thompson or D'Angelo Russell, they can put up a ton of points. Russell can play on defense. I don't know where the problem is right now the Raptors are right on Van Fleet and Siakam being as good as they were but people are forgetting with Kawhi taking a lot of attention. So can they be, if they're as good as they were last year, even with Kawhi?
There's nobody to double team this year though. That's the problem that people forget.
Yeah,
they were open tons of times because Kawhi's got 2 guys and sometimes 3 guys.
I tell you who's available, and I don't know if he'd be worth it, but Andrew Wiggins is available in Minnesota. He's a Canadian
that would be
boy.
Amazing.
Could you turn him around? Yeah. He was the first really touted Canadian #1 pick overall. Could you turn him around if you brought him home to Canada?
You know, it doesn't matter. That would be still a great trade.
I think so.
Right now, the city would go nuts.
I think he's a good scorer.
And he's a local guy, not even a Canadian guy. He's
really
from
local.
Toronto.
Yeah, really local.
Yeah.
But he's a good scorer, good enough defender, and if you get some extra work ethic out of him, he could be a star. So I'd go someone like that. That's what you're looking at right now.
Yeah, and there are some small pieces. There's no Kawhi out there, and there won't be. That's the way it is, unless you make some. And I've talked about another trade, but now that Najuri re-signed, there's no way
DeRozan
would come by.
He's probably going to sign with San Antonio.
I know. That's what brought his name up to me. Is DeRozan had actually talked to him about coming, and the team talked about him coming because he sees him as a missing piece, a tough guy, big guy. And that's where it came up to me. Oh shit, Cousins. Yeah, like I remember him in our series. How well he played. So who knows what's out there? I'm sure the Raptors brass is not taking a Saturday off right now. There's a management meeting going on in a real hurry in Toronto land because they did nothing. They assumed they were getting Kawhi because they did nothing in the free agents market. They didn't even talk to any free agents. There's nobody ready to come to Toronto.
Well, I don't know if they assumed he was coming, but I think they assumed they wanted to roll with the team they had regardless. Meaning,
clearly, they didn't move anybody.
Yeah, they're putting a lot of pressure and emphasis on these young guys. They clearly are, especially now that you realize they turned down that trade for George and Westbrook. The reason why I don't think they made any moves was the potential of Kawhi coming back. But regardless, they must have sat in a meeting one day and said, "Guys, what's our plan?" And they all came to a conclusion: whether he leaves or stays, let's roll with what we got. That's what they're gonna do. Budget-wise, it makes sense.
You know what? They've got the championship to live on. I mean, our city is not used to back-to-back champions.
Right.
The Blue Jays did it once, but now they've been 28 seasons without doing it. The Leafs have been 50-some-odd seasons. Guess what? If there's this one championship, they can. They can take some time here and look to when they want to build a championship team. The city is so thankful for what happened this year.
Real quick, though, what does this mean, Dad? What does this mean? our LeBron James Jr. plays and play
Exactly,
now.
yeah.
It's happening. They're prepping.
2 years from now, getting LeBron.
They
Yeah.
heard our show.
Yeah.
They're gonna make Siakam and Van Fleet look really, really good, and then trade them all. I know it now. That's it.
It's all about
Figured it out.
LeBron's kids.
LeBron James Jr. I mean, I
Sink to the bottom.
even prep for his daughter. She's about 6, and you never know. I mean,
you got to sink to the bottom so you get number 1 pick and you get his kid.
and then trade all these young guys
Good players.
that progress leading into this draft.
Yeah.
Trade them all, and then you get LeBron. That's what they're doing.
Here's
LeBron and
one thing
LeBron
we
James.
know. Every year, there's trades at the deadline. Every year, there's free agency, and players move all over the place. So, anyway, it's not horrible. You're going to see a lot of good basketball. That's one thing. I don't think we're going to win a championship, but we got a lot of good basketball players. I think we're going to, as you say, probably drop the four spot.
I'd even go 5 or
maybe
6.
even 5 spot.
Indiana's
But,
tough.
this was a good team, and it won without Kawhi in the lineup. 15-3, I think it was. The 18 games he didn't play. These guys do have playoff experience. They're all way better than they were during the season too.
Right. It's just now Siakam.
You don't have that one guy.
Congratulations, you're gonna get the double teams.
Yeah.
You're gonna be the guy. Van Fleet, man, you're not coming off the bench no more. You're taking Danny Green's spot in the lineup. So I'm just interested to see. But that's what they want to see. That's probably why they didn't do anything. They want to see.
Sure.
I still think not doing the trade was wrong, but I'm okay with it because the future looks bright. And worst case scenario, I hope you trade everyone for their first overall pick in the draft in 2021 when LeBron James Jr. is announced number 1, the Toronto Raptors, and LeBron James signs going to Toronto.
Okay, so we've been drinking too much on Saturday morning here. Anyway, that's it. We wanted to bring an update. There's all kinds of stuff going on all over the city. Every show's talking about it. It's crazy. But anyway, there's some thoughts, and we'll look forward to getting back with you guys on tomorrow or Monday, certainly with our golf show. Wimbledon is taking a day off tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens with the
big guys
matches today.
Though,
So we'll see what happens with matches.
Special.
But it looks like everything's kind of all the big favorites are winning today. So Monday will be the restart of Wimbledon, and we'll see what happens there. Well, talk to you then.